After having watched both seasons of Squid Game for the 4th time, and reading every comment, article, fan theory, and even the banned 18+ ones, I have gathered the most insane Squid Game theories that could, let me rephrase, that will actually happen. At least some of them, I hope. And in this video, we are gonna go over the most interesting ones. So let's dive in. Theory number 1, Gi-hun becomes the frontman. After the emotional end to season 2, where In-ho sabotages boss man Gi-hun's rebellion and executes the last close friend he has,
어떤 건지.
fans have speculated that maybe the true goal of the show's creator is to show a good soul slowly becoming bad. As Gi-hun has been through so many trials in the first 2 seasons, his spirit is cracking. And the director has said that G-man and the frontman represent 2 sides of the same coin. In-ho believes that human beings are inherently greedy and don't care for other people, whereas Gi-hun deeply believes that people are worth giving the time and effort to be saved. Throughout the series, In-ho develops a kind of obsession with Gi-hun, going out of his way to keep him alive and break his spirit, trying to slowly turn his good heart into one as corrupt and evil as his own. This goes as far as the frontman having to save Gi-hun, even though he tried to take him hostage, which would have been a real threat if In-ho wasn't always one step ahead.
아니면 날 납치라도 하려고 했던 건가?
세세워!
그 권총 한 자루로 게임을 끝낼 수 있겠어?
In-ho lost his wife and unborn child, which was his whole reason for playing the games in the first place, before he became the frontman. He lost his purpose in life, causing him to begin a chaotic decline in mental health. Now he's trying to have this same effect on Gi-hun, since at the beginning of the show, he believed everybody should be saved, but in order for his rebellion to succeed, he allowed fellow peace lovers to be slaughtered at night in order to make his plan more believable.
싸움이 끝날 때까지 참고 기다려야 합니다. 지금 이 인원보다 적은 숫자로는 그놈들을 이길 수가 없어요.
작은 희생은 감수하자는 건가요?
This was a moment where In-ho was so pleased that he struggled to hide his smirk, relishing in the pain and death he'd caused Gi-hun to give others. But you might wonder, how could this slowly build up to Gi-hun becoming the frontman? Well, there are some hidden similarities between In-ho and G-man, which suggest this plotline. Gi-hun famously likes to bet on horses, and the frontman said that betting on the contestants of the Squid Games was like betting on horses.
왜 이런 짓을 하는 거지?
경마 좋아하시죠? 당신들은 말입니다. 경마장의 말. 의외였어요. 당신은 얼마 달리지 못할 줄 알았는데.
Gi-hun abandoned his daughter to bring the Squid Games to an end and take revenge on the organization behind it, while In-ho left his mother and brother to become part of the group for good. It's possible that he also returned to the games to try and stop them at some point, realizing that as long as the powerful people above him exist, there will always be someone to replace the organization and keep the cruel acts going. So he chose to run them as fairly as possible instead of stopping them. He even tells Gi-hun that until society has some big changes, the Squid Games cannot be stopped.
게임.
너희들이 해왔던 그리고 지금도 하고 있는 그 게임.
그들은 어차피 게임에서 진 사람들이야. 경쟁에서 탈락한 쓰레기들. 매일 수많은 쓰레기들이 쏟아지고 있어. 세상이 바뀌지 않는 한 게임은 끝나지 않아.
Maybe Gi-hun will finally crack and realize the same things, deciding to become the new frontman to ensure the same fairness and equality for contestants, giving them the best chance of survival. Some fans even have crazy ideas like Gi-hun taking part in the American Squid Games as player 001, taking on the same role as the current daddy frontman and creepy grandpa. This one might seem a little out there, but there is one thing we know for sure. It's the next theory. The games continue. Thanks to Gi-hun's attempt to take over, only 3 out of 6 of the Squid Games took place, meaning we still have a lot we haven't seen yet. A lot of the exes who were voting to stop the games were killed in this raid, meaning that it's a certainty that the games will be voted to continue. One of the most popular theories is about what these next games will be. A large group of fans think the teaser in Season 2's credits is about the trolley problem, a moral dilemma where someone needs to decide whether to save the person they care about the most as a train comes towards them, or save them by switching the tracks to kill a group of innocent players. It could even be the case that Gi-hun himself is the one forced to make this choice, which could tie into the frontman theory. It'd be the perfect punishment for the hostile revolution, pushing him towards a more evil personality. Another possibility is that, since the Squid Games are region-locked, it could be the famous kids game in Korea, Dongdaemun. In this game, players must pass through an arch made by 2 other players. These 2 players sing a song, and once the song stops, the arch closes in on an unlucky player and traps them. Those players would have to sit out the match in real life, but since it's Squid Game, they're definitely gonna get game overed instead. In this situation though, the credits make it look like the creepy Cheol-soo and murderous Young-hee will form a larger arch than usual so that many players at once can be eliminated. And there even are games we know will happen for sure. As in Season 1, when Sang-woo goes demon mode, you can see the game's played displayed on the walls, and in Season 2, these walls suggest that there may be some kind of monkey bars-like game which would have contestants fall to their death terrifyingly, a lot like the glass bridge game. There's also some kind of chessboard, maybe a form of human chess will be played, where pieces, or players in this case, who are captured get eliminated, although it would not be the chess we all know, but a Korean version, as every game is Korean, of course. That'd be extremely unsettling if true, but it wouldn't leave the same impact as one plot fans are waiting for, walking towards the light. Similar to the fans who think Gi-hun will turn evil, there are others who believe that he will be the spark which causes In-ho to start believing in humanity again and turn good. He was once a well-respected detective who sacrificed one of his kidneys to save his brother, so we know for sure he once had a lot of positivity and wasn't always so dark and evil like we see him now. What if, in a crazy twist, In-ho actually starts to respect Gi-hun's efforts to save people and begins plans to stop the Squid Games himself? The actor for In-ho snitched on the script and said that a part of his character secretly wants Gi-hun to succeed, meaning that even though he's done so many awful things, there is still a degree of light left within him. All he needs is to walk towards it. Also, a random ship captain magically appeared in the area to find his brother, who just got shot in a way where everyone around would think he is dead. Although he does actually survive. That is way too much of a coincidence, especially since the shooter was one of the most intelligent characters in the series. Clearly there's some kind of plan here to keep In-ho's brother alive, and that shows that there is still some mercy left in him, maybe even enough to turn on the VIPs. He may have even started the organ business, since his late wife died of a liver disease, and a transplant could have saved her life. Although the organ trade is illegal, he could indirectly save lives with it. On top of that, any interaction he has with the VIPs has this strange disconnect in status. He clearly is missing some aura, and it looks like he hates those VIPs. Maybe with enough little pushes, he'd be able to turn good and take things into his own hands, and it's possible that along with his brother Junho, In-ho will be able to sacrifice himself to stop the Korean Squid Games and detonate the explosives mentioned in Season 1 to put a permanent end to the operations. Whether In-ho sacrifices himself or not though, we are definitely going to get a tear-jerking scene somehow from this next theory, heartbreaking losses. If there's a single fact we can be sure of, it's that Season 3 will have some insanely depressing deaths, just like Seasons 1 and 2. Since Gi-hun has severely disrespected the Squid Game organization, he'll need to pay the price. But they will not just kill him, of course. They could rig the selection system for the next games and make Gi-hun lose all his new friends. If the players go through a death game similar to marbles, they could rig the operation and make some ugly pairs. This could even be done if the chess game is a 1v1 format like marbles. The mother and son dynamic duo would be a tragic but effective way to traumatize both G-Man and the fans, with one of them needing to accept their death to save the other. MG Coin and his ex might team up too, and since she's pregnant, he'll either need to take one for the team or become a complete coward by tricking her to save himself. I can't even imagine how mad that would make some of you. But we're not done yet. There is something that fans are dying for and would make them extremely happy: the return of 246. Player 246 won hearts, entering the Squid Games as a way to pay for his dying daughter's life-changing treatment.
그럼 제발 하든지 예우가
Eagle-eyed viewers notice that the guard who killed him during the Revolution arc is most likely the same soldier who got to know him and his daughter briefly before he joined the games. She knows what he and his daughter are going through, and if she actually is the guard who shot at him, she most likely chose a non-fatal place to hit, knowing that any other guard would have killed him mercilessly. Season 3 will, according to this theory, show Guard 11 cutting her ties with the Squid Game organization and helping 246 escape so that he can be with his daughter, and maybe even steal enough money to fund her treatment and keep her safe and healthy. She's been seen before being threatened by fellow guards who were taking part in the organ harvesting ring.
인생 미친년인 줄 알았더니 이를 돕지는 못해도 방해는 말았어야지.
위에 보고하겠어.
얼굴을 못쓰게 만들어버릴까 아니면은
So maybe she'd bust the operation before they can kill 246, then use his help to free Gi-hun. But all of that would be worthless if the next theory comes true. There's no escape. One theory which I think has a crazy amount of potential is that the entire existence of the Squid Games is actually government-backed and run. This means that even if the organization itself is stopped, the people supporting them will simply make a new one, ensuring the sick and wild games keep going. At first glance, you might think there's no way, but trust me, this is pretty interesting when you look at the details. The games primarily target people who owe large debts, and the secret organ harvesting was something the frontman turned a blind eye to. He only punished the workers when they helped someone to cheat. So what if the entire game is a way of taking money away from underground loan sharks while giving organs to terminally ill patients who can get a new chance at life? The games could be run by the government as a covert kind of operation to address their society's problems and get rid of the finance-based crimes of loan sharks. But this wouldn't be quite as satisfying as the final theory of our video. Thanos is actually alive! Okay, I know you guys want to hear this one, but I'm thinking I'll work it out even more and make a separate video about it. So these have been some of the craziest and most fascinating theories for Season 3, which I'm sure will come true in some way. If you want to see more Squid Game videos, make sure to click on the video on screen now.